The Philippine market has spoken. We need hybrids. This past year, the 5-seater plug-in hybrid has been a big hit, but many Filipino families have been waiting for something bigger. A 7-seater. One that brings comfort, reliability, and range to take you further than ever. Now this is something that gives you more. Additional space and 2 more seats for the people who matter most. Your family. Premium, luxurious, performant, beyond hybrid. Packed with tech to give you and your family the best experience possible. Making your car not just a way to travel, but an extension of your home. This is the all-new BYD Tang DM-i. Hi guys, my name is Don and I'm not a pro driver. Let me show you why this might be exactly what you've been waiting for. So let's start with the key fob. So this is the front and this is the back. At the front, we have the lock, unlock, open trunk button, and remote start button. At the back, we just have BYD. There's a latch here that you release, and there's the mechanical key. To open the tailgate, you press twice. To close the tailgate, you do the same thing. Press twice. Now the car is locked at the moment. If you press and hold the unlock button, it unlocks the car, rolls all the windows. If you want to close all the windows, just press the lock button. For the remote start function, press and hold. It's on right now. It's just so quiet that you can't hear it. So the car has this proximity sensor thing. As long as you have the key fob with you, you can press this button on the door and it should unlock. Press again to lock the car. There you go. Now there are different ways of getting inside the car. One is with the NFC card. You tap the side mirror with the NFC card and it will unlock. You also have your BYD app on your phone that you can set up your digital key that serves as your NFC. For the colors of the BYD Tang DM-i, we have black, white, and gray, which is the hero color. For the gray, they blacked out all the silver shiny accents, including the rims, which gave it a sportier look. It's 1,950 millimeters wide, 1,725 millimeters high with a ground clearance of 182 millimeters. That's unladen. It is 4,870 millimeters long with a wheelbase of 2,820 millimeters, giving it a turning radius of 5.9 meters. And it has a curb weight of 2,130 kilograms. So front and center, you have your BYD badge right here. And that's sitting on top of this silver matte plastic. And then it spans all the way here on the sides at the top of the headlights. So you have your DRLs at the bottom, you have chrome accents, and inside that are your actual lights. Below the BYD badge, you have your camera right here. And it's inside this grille, which is matte black with chrome accents. You have a bar on the grille, and there's your radar. Also inside the grille, you have your plate holder, and we have aluminum matte finish around the grille. Going to the sides, you have piano black finish. And then below that, you have body color, piano black finish again, going towards the side. I thought these were vents, they're not. And then at the very bottom, you have silver matte finish. It's not that obvious here, but you have a sensor here, you have a sensor here, and 2 on that side. So you have your tow hitch here. It's really well designed and hidden. For the hood, we have these lines that make the car look sporty. It's not overly designed, but it's stylish. Behind that are 2 wipers that you have to flip a switch in order for it to get to maintenance mode. And then at the top, you have your notch with sensors and rain detection. You also have a molding for the DVR, but I don't think you have one here. So for the wheels, we have a 2-tone design here with BYD at the center. And it says here it's a 255 50 R20 109V. And the brand of the tires is GT Comfort P80. Ventilated disc brakes at the front and solid disc brakes at the rear. For the suspension, you have a McPherson for the front and a multi-link system for the rear. You have black plastic cladding that comes from the bumper to the fender at the bottom and at the end. So for the side mirrors, you have body color at the top and piano black finish at the bottom. Repeaters here, and then below that, you have a puddle light and your camera for your 360 view. On the actual mirror, you can find your triangle, which is your blind spot detection. You have matte silver at the top and at the bottom of the windows, all the way here to the back. It doesn't connect though. Piano black finish for the B pillars and the C pillars. You can see here you have privacy tint from the second row all the way here to the back. For your door handles, body color. And then more matte silver accents at the bottom. And at the top, matte silver again for your roof rail. You don't have any fixed points, but it does look like it's load bearing. For the side, you can see here you have lines. It looks minimal, but yet sporty. Now, it doesn't look like it from the front, but this car is quite long. Now on this side is where you get to see your fuel cap. There's a button here on the door to unlock it, but it will tell you to turn off the car first before you can open it. Safety feature. And it says here 91 run or above unleaded fuel only. And it has a capacity of 53 liters. Now on the other side is where you get to see your charging ports. You have AC and DC. So this is a CCS Type 2 charging port. For AC, it can charge from 15% to 100% in 3 hours. For DC, it's 30% to 80% in 30 minutes. What this is charging is a lithium iron phosphate battery with a capacity of 21.5 kilowatt hour. This is BYD's Blade battery technology, which is known for its superior safety, demonstrated by its performance in rigorous tests like nail penetration, where it doesn't catch fire or smoke. This battery gives a BYD Tang DM-i a rated extended range of 1,160 kilometers, 110 kilometers of which is pure EV. That's NEDC. And this also supports vehicle-to-load function. Now for the rear, you got badges. Front and center, you got BYD. Here, you have DMI. And here you have Tang. And then here you have a light bar that spans from one end to the other. And it looks like it's weaving. It looks cool though. Below that, you have your button here to open the tailgate. Beside that is your rear camera, 2 lights for the plate and your plate holder. Then you have your parking sensor here, another parking sensor right here. You got 2 on that side as well. Your tow hitch here, matte silver finish right here, and matte black finish at the very bottom. And then at the center of that is your rear fog lamps. Over to the side, you have these red things here. That's your reflector. I thought these were actual vents. No, they're not. They're just for aesthetic. Moving at the top, you have your rear window here with defoggers, your wiper that's hiding under this spoiler, which also houses your third brake light. And then at the very top, your shark fin antenna. If you enjoy these types of car reviews, show your support and hit that subscribe button. To open the hood, there's a lever here. You pull twice. Now when you open the hood, there's not much to see here. It looks clean though. It really looks clean. What you have here is your washer fluid. That's it. You have dampening materials here for heat and noise. Everything here looks cool. Well, it's a Super DM-i. What should be under here is a 1.5-liter turbocharged high-efficiency generator and a permanent magnet synchronous motor, making the BYD Tang DM-i the first DM-i in the Philippines with a turbocharged high-efficiency generator. So this is driving the 2 front wheels with 271 PS and 315 Newton meters of torque. It has a max speed of 200 kilometers per hour and can go from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. Now to open the trunk, there's a button here. You push that and it opens automatically. You have a close button here and another button that has this lock icon. Now if I close this, there's a safety feature that whenever it senses pressure, it stops and then moves back up. So what's cool about this is whatever things you have here, you can still see them at night because you have 2 lights right here. So inside you have D-rings, so you have one there and another right here. And then a 12-volt socket and then a speaker. Below this, you have a compartment that opens like so. It's not here, but BYD will be providing you with a portable charger and a V2L adapter. Also, whenever you purchase this car, a wall charger will be provided for your home. So you're looking at 235 liters of space. To increase the space, you pull these tabs and fold the 3rd row seats. Now you're looking at 940 liters. To increase the space further, you can fold the 2nd row seats. And now you're looking at 1,655 liters. So it's not totally flat. You have an angle here at the 2nd row seat. And there's also a gap, a big one. Yeah, this is a lot. To get into the 3rd row, there's a lever here behind the passenger side. You pull that in this position, you can push this that gives you entry to the third row. On the third row seats, it's leather perforated with stitching diamond designs. What you get here are speakers on each side. There are fixed points on each side for the tonneau cover. You have cup holders on each side as well, and D-rings. That's for when the third row seat is folded down. You have ISO fixed points on each seat, 2 seat belts, and your headrest that can be adjusted up until here. There are pull tabs here for adjusting the backrest, and also you have a light. They're capacitive. It's on right now because the trunk is open, but it gets brighter whenever I tap on them. The only problem here is there are no AC vents. So as far as 7-seaters go, this is a 5+2. So this is the minimum space for the third row, but you can increase this by moving the second row seats forward. So we just moved the second row seat 2 clicks forward, and this is what it looks like. Now it's a lot more comfortable. And this is what the second row seat looks like. That's the leg room for the second row seat. That's still decent for the passengers on the second row. So that's cool. Let's move over to the second row. On the door cards, we have leather, right? Oh, this is soft. This is really nice. Stitching right there. Below that, we have piano black finish with a handle that feels substantial, and then Dyne Audio tweeter right there. And then below that, we have this brushed aluminum design here with ambient lighting. Leather again with stitching. And then this is the same leather that you see on the seats, the diamond stitching effect. Plastic right here, your switch for the windows. One touch going down, and it goes all the way down, and one touch going up with anti-pinch. Silver for your handle, plastic for your bottle holder and a pocket, and Dyne Audio again for the speakers. So before I get into the seats, I just want to show you that there are BYD door sills. Cool, no? Now these seats, look at how soft they are. See? That's soft, though. Oh. It's plush, perforated, just like the third row seats. ISO fixed points on the outer seats, 3 seat belts, and a center armrest with 2 cup holders and a compartment. For the headrest, this is how high it can go, and on the middle, this is how high it can go. Handles, hook, and a light. You can see airbags on the C pillar, B pillar, and A pillar. So you have a total of 6 airbags. This is solid for your pocket that's behind the first row seat. Piano black finish housing your 2 vents. If you close one, you close the other as well. And then below that is like a compartment. You press that and it reveals your USB Type A and Type C. Type C says 2 volts, so that's fast charging. Now remember, we adjusted this for the third row earlier. If I want to, I can still move this backward and I get more leg room. You have a flat floor right here, and then you have AC vents here at the bottom of the first row seats. So this is leg room. This is my wife's sitting position, and here's my head. Okay, so I have like a fist left. And of course, you have your panoramic sunroof. So the panoramic sunroof isn't fabric, it's like a mesh of some sort. Let's move over to the first row. Now on the door cards of the front row, we have the same materials, but you have a longer matte black finish here, still Dyne Audio, and your controls. So these are for the side mirrors. Here's your lock and unlock buttons, your windows, and your child lock. So that's for the driver's side. For the passenger side, you only have one switch for the window. Also for the driver's side, you have your fuel cap button and your switch to open the tailgate. Again, you have door sills. It's longer for the first row. So for the windows, you have one touch going down and it goes all the way down, and one touch going up with anti-pinch. Now on the seat adjustments for the driver's side, you have 6-way. So this is to move forward, backward, height, and your backrest. Now on the passenger side, you have 4-way. And specific to the driver's side, you have a lever here to open the hood. For the first row, of course, it's always more comfortable here because you have these bolsterings right there. It's still the same seat. You have heating and cooling for the seats. For the adjustments on the headrest, it's up until this high. For the steering wheel, well, you have this nice color here. It's the same color as the whole interior. Then it's leather wrapped and heated, by the way. We have BYD here at the center. Then we have your controls for your cruise controls, AVM, start button, and on the right side we have your call buttons, your voice assistant, and to control your instrument cluster and your infotainment system. For the adjustments, you have tilt and telescope. On the left stalk, these are for your lights, and then on the side you have a trip data reset. And then on the right are for the wipers, that's front and rear. So for the vents, I have one here, then 2 at the middle, and then another one for the passenger. Now for the screens, you have a 12.3-inch screen for the instrument cluster and a 15.6-inch for the infotainment system. So this is the first BYD car that I've seen that the infotainment system doesn't rotate. It's always in landscape. Personally, I prefer this. Now these screens are sitting on this piano black finish. It's really big. I think you should have this filmed at some point. Below that is ambient lighting, and this is the same brushed aluminum that you see on the door cards. Then matte silver finish at the bottom, leather again, and for the glove box, it opens like so. So that's soft. This is like felt with light. For the dash, leather, but it feels rubbery. Here is plastic for the vent. You have a canopy here for your instrument cluster. I like that. Then at the top, we have your notch, which houses your sensors. And then attached to that is your rear view mirror that isn't auto dimming. For the dome lights, we have lights here that are capacitive. Then capacitive buttons as well for the roof and the shade. And here is for your sunglasses. Inside is filled. For the visors, we have a clip and vanity mirror with light when you open that. Does it close automatically? Yes, it does. Okay, so does this extend? No, it doesn't. So that also goes the same for the passenger. Clip, mirror, and light. And then here I have a mic that also goes for the passenger side. So that's for your BYD assistant. Moving over to the center console, you still have the same brushed aluminum effect. So you have two cup holders with a key with a radiating thing. So that's for your emergency starting. To close this, you just push and it closes itself. Below that, we have your shifter with an unlock button on the side. So you have P, reverse, neutral, and drive, start stop button, and your electric park brake. On the left side of that is your hazard, parking sensors, blind spot detection, auto hold, and your EV and HEV toggle. Then at the right, we have your on-off button for your infotainment system. That also is your rocker for your volume, on-off for your AC, and defoggers for the front. Then we have your drive modes, which is Eco, Normal, and Sport. And then here we have a button for your wet mode or snow mode. Below that is your wireless charger. It says max 50 watts. And your center armrest that opens up like so. And inside that, you have your USB ports, one type A, one type C, an SD card slot, and a 12-volt socket. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button. On the left is your power meter. Inside that, you can find the blind spot detection. On the right is your speed. Inside that, you can see the auto hold, which is active. Also beside the speed is the adaptive cruise control target speed and the lane keep assist. And below that is the odometer. At the top is the time, your light situation, electric or hybrid mode, gear, drive mode, which is eco, normal, and here it's sport, compass, and the temperature outside. At the bottom is the battery level, OK status, and fuel level. At the middle is an area that's dynamic. Right now, it's a car with a road. When I was in adaptive cruise control, if there is a car in front, it shows me that. This is also the area that shows a door is open or seat belts aren't buckled up. Most of the time, I see this view, the trip data. And the road view goes into this picture-in-picture style. This also becomes a distance indicator whenever I change the distance between me and the car in front of me. So other than this trip data view, I can pull up a menu and access the speed warning alarm, theme. Right now I'm using fashion. Just like in BYD Sea Lion 6, I can change it to classic. I can set the AC temperature from here as well as the fan speed. And then the status of the vehicle, and finally the launch control, which looks like this. That's it. Now let's look at the bigger screen. At the bottom is your toolbar, mainly for your AC controls, but there are other shortcuts as well. On the top of that are your widgets. And when you drag from the top of the screen, you'll see your shortcuts panel, where you have quick access to your volume, brightness, connectivity options, and you can even take a screenshot from here. You can personalize this more with other shortcuts like the open trunk button, auto hold, hill descent control, blind spot detection, and more. Just on top of the widgets, there is this customized button for the screen. It has theme options where you have 6 to choose from and 6 wallpapers as well. At the most bottom right, we have like a launch pad for your apps. First, we have your vehicle image, which is technically your AVM. This is a 540-degree camera system where you can see what's underneath the car. These are the settings for the AVM. And this is your 3D view. This is smart charging, where you can set a schedule for your charging when the car is plugged in. Here is your phone app. I don't have one connected yet, but you will see your contacts, recent, and missed calls. BYD Store. I don't have a connection here, but this is similar to the App Store on your phone, but for the car. Themes, we saw that earlier. Media center, where you can listen to the radio, music, or play a video. And here is the audio settings, which we will get to in the settings app. Inside utility tools, we have album for your image files, file manager, which is our finder app for the system, disable auto start for apps you don't want to auto start, data monitor for your data usage. And then we have settings. Under light, this is the ambient lighting options. Exterior light, where you can adjust the headlight level in intelligent high beam, and courtesy light options. In locks, this is where you can set the height of the tailgate. Here are the options for the windows and functions associated with the key fob, and auto lock and remote locking, where I can select to unlock only my door or all doors. In audio, these are presets for the speakers, and here are presets for the equalizer. And here's custom if you want to tweak those. Scrolling down, I can set volume for different sounds coming from the car. Notifications. Here are the options like the prompt sound and how loud it is, and a toggle to decrease the volume when Google Maps is telling me to turn left or right. Here are the options for this screen. There is brightness, screensaver options, light mode or dark mode, and adaptive brightness. Here's a preview of the screensavers. For the instrument cluster, I can set the brightness from here. I can also set the range unit, standard, or you let the system decide when to use what unit. SoC unit if it's distance or percent of your SoC. Under Energy Manager, I can turn on save mode, which is forcing the system to charge the battery from 20% to 70%. I can also set how high the regenerative braking level is from here. Charging and discharging, this is smart charging, we saw that earlier. Charging port immobilizer and your V2L. Energy consumption is where you can see your consumption data. That's for both fuel and battery or power. In vehicle, there is the seat heating and cooling settings. I can turn on the heating for the steering wheel here as well. Here is the toggle for the hill descent control. Here is for the steering and braking modes, as well as stability control and auto hold. Comfort driving, I can auto power on and off the power supply. Adaptive welcome lighting, a toggle for auto folding the side mirror, and auto wiper. Under service, we have intelligent maintenance, where you have toggles for, I know this is for your PMS. Overhaul is where I can set both the front and rear wipers in maintenance mode, and the user manual, but I don't have a connection at this time. ADAS. So this is turning on intelligent cruise control. Then we have your toggle for lane keep assist, door open warning, blind spot detection, lane departure warning options, speed adjustment on curves, auto emergency braking, rear collision warning, front collision warning, and rear cross traffic alert. Then this is the toggle for the parking sensors. In system, this is your connectivity options. Then general, settings for the time, zone, and format. Units, language, keyboard, playback, apps, and legal info. And finally, version, where you can see the details, update, and reset everything. Going back to the app launcher, there is Spotify. CarPlay and Android Auto is wireless. The user manual. Here is BYD Assistant. It tells me to connect for an update. So here's to enable Hi BYD for wake up. Continuous dialogue, volume, language, version, and a toggle to authorize a voice assistant. Then here's a list of things you can ask the assistant. It's categorized in vehicle control, Bluetooth phone, media player, system options, and offline commands. At the top right is like a status bar, where you can tap the icons and the popover appears for location, Bluetooth status, cellular or Wi-Fi status, and here's our notifications panel. On the other side, there's a shortcut for the current media playing. Tap on the time, it activates a screensaver. Tapping one of the AC buttons at the bottom launches the AC control in full screen. Here's the AC setting. You have AC auto mode, how long AC will run remotely, auto circulation, and fan speed reduction during calls. Here are the seat and steering wheel settings. We saw that earlier. At the bottom are specific shortcuts for the AC controls like vent settings, seat settings, front defogger, and air recirculation. And here is for split screen. I only have Spotify here. Maybe I can download apps from the BYD App Store to make split screen more usable. Settings here is a shortcut to the settings app. That's it. So we're gonna start a full acceleration. I'm gonna be on sport. There you go. And then at the cones, I will stop. Ready? Go. And then okay, that's cool. And so we were testing the brakes there, and not only does it brake well, regeneration is great. So here I'm going to stop, and then I'm just going to punch it, and then at the cones I will stop again. So this is like the acceleration test. 1, 2, 3, go. Wow. And then at the cones, I stop. Whoa! Okay, that's wild. That's wild. You can hear the generator go woo. Okay, cool. So definitely this car has a lot of power. And we also got to test the ABS. In addition to the safety features like, the ABS, here we're going to test the ADAS. I'm going to be on adaptive cruise control, and what I'll do is set it to 45, and then when I drive through the slalom, I won't do anything, not even brake. I will let the car go up to 45. I'll just tap on the accelerator a bit. There you go. So this is a slalom test, testing how it manages fast turns. Okay, so you can see that it's not always on 45 kilometers per hour. The system knows that it needs to decelerate on those curves. So that's pretty smart. That's the ADAS working hand in hand to do that. And it's effortless. That's cool. So I already know that this car is fast, but I still have to try the 0 to 100. So let's go to the launch control. There we go. Let's go. Okay, so I got 7.9 seconds, 0 to 100, and then 0 to 50 is 2.9 seconds. Amazeballs. It really is a DMI. It's smooth. It's what you would expect on a BYD. You can see the road really well. You have these triangular small windows beside the side mirror for blind spots. The steering, the way it steers, it's responsive. When it comes to how rigid the car is, I can barely hear anything rattling inside the interior. The only things I hear are my things. I want to test that out here on an off-road, a mild off-road. It's supposed to do a lot of, do like that. I wish you can experience this. The way it handles these unevenness of the roads, it glides through it really easily. And that's considering the fact that ground clearance isn't that high. It's actually impressive. So I'm just following the trail here and managing my speed. The seats, they're really doing a good job at absorbing that shock. See, it's like nothing's happening to the car, but I know these types of terrains, they can make your car really noisy and they can put a lot of strain on your body. The seats are doing a really good job. And of course, the suspension and the way the car is built. So the car, when it's on idle, it feels luxurious inside, the feel of everything. But when you drive it, it feels sporty. There's that balance. So far, it's been able to handle everything we threw at it. I like going into this screen here because it reminds me that I do have a motor, or in this case, a generator. Not just any generator, it's a high efficiency generator. It feels like a full electric vehicle. It just feels good driving it. It's a well-balanced car. The way it handles the speed, the way it handles cornering, it's predictable. You can easily control the car. So in terms of ADAS, you have the full suite. I will say that BYD systems are dependable. It gives you confidence that you can tackle a lot of roads. And that's, I think, what this car is trying to achieve. Giving you the best experience in a BYD while you, as the driver, enjoy the drive. You also keep your family safe. I've been a fan of plug-in hybrids, and the recent weather situation in the Philippines made a case for it, where there were power outages and they use plug-in hybrids to power up not only phones, but to power up appliances as well. That's one of the values that you can get from a plug-in hybrid system like this Tang DM-i. Not only are you buying a car or a vehicle, imagine there is a power outage and you can use your car to power up medical equipment. That's like life or death situation. So this is it. The 7-seater that you've been waiting for is finally here. Spacious enough for the whole family, refined enough to feel first class, and efficient enough to take you farther for less. With an indicative price of 2,200,000 pesos, it's not just about the value, it's about the experience. Drive it once and you'll understand. The BYD Tang DM-i isn't just another hybrid, it's a new standard for family travel. I would like to thank BYD Cars Philippines for letting us be part of this awesome experience. Again, thank you so much. Hanggang sa ulitin, kita kits.